So here's where we're at. I got the doors off. Gonna get ready to clean them up, but I wanted to drill the holes first for the new handles. So you can see here, I'm not sure. Old handle was just a single hole. The new handle is actually a 2-hole. It's gonna go just like that. So I'm gonna reuse the old hole, and I've got to drill this second hole up top here. Purchased this guy on Amazon. It was like $18. I'll put a link in the video description. And it's basically a adjustable guide template to allow us to drill holes. So what I did, and maybe I'll do a separate video to show you guys how you set this up, but basically there's this end with the wings on it. That's for the bottom of the door. This big piece with the big wing on it is going to be along the side of the door. I mean, you could use it either way, but works best for me. And then you've got these adjustable guides with holes in them. What I did is I set this one to the bottom and set this guide to match the existing hole, which now that I look at this door is a little bit off. And then this hole is the distance, same distance away that I need for the new handle. So now that I'm looking at it, I'm going to adjust this hole, this guide, because it looks like these doors might have been a little bit different. These are like the middle of the cabinets with the glass. So, yeah, they could have been set up a little bit differently. Let me adjust this real quick. Loosen this guy up. And it's just a little thumb screw, and then basically it slides along the metal ruler. And you know, I gotta say, for an $18 item, this thing is pretty well made. This metal, this plastic, it's actually really good quality. And I'm just kind of eyeballing through the middle of this hole, a little thing here, where the existing hole is. Lining up the template. And I'm going to tighten that guy down. Now this one I'm going to have to shift a little bit, so what I do, easy way to do this, is basically use the template, make sure this one's tight, come through, and just tighten up the screw a little bit there. And then this one I'm just going to adjust it till I can get it on. And tighten that guy down. So now you'll see both of those line up exactly where I need it to be. Should be okay. So I'm going to pull the handle out. And now these holes should line up, so I'm just going to verify. Yep, that hole lines up. Got my drill bit. I'm going to go through this one here. There we go. Now you'll notice I actually came through the front face of the cabinet because this is the face that is going to be seen, and if you notice on the back side it kind of splits out, splinters the wood. So not wanting to do that on the front face, I go through the front to the back because obviously the front's going to be seen more. I am going to paint and refinish these, so I'm going to record that guy and probably do that in a different video, but let me show you. I'll grab another door. So this one's done. Put it off to the side. Same thing here. Oh, this one was already done. Hold on. Okay, next step after I drilled the holes for the handle, I am going to scuff this up with 2 different pads. Buy these at the big box store, a couple packs. Basically they're going to take off any finish, remove any kind of grime and dirt. I am going to go through after I do this with a tack cloth and maybe just a damp rag just to clean them up, make sure nothing's on there. This is one of the windows doors with the stiles on it. I've removed the glass, which is pretty easy. I got to do the front and back. I had already taken the time to tape off and remove the hinges, and what you want to do is when you're painting, especially I'm going to be spraying these, because the hinges usually have a tight tolerance for these holes, tape off the hole, because any extra paint in there is going to screw up that tolerance and you may not be able to get the hinge back. I didn't record that because that's just basically unscrewing the hinges, putting some tape over the hole, pressing it in, and then I used a razor blade to just kind of go around the edge so there's no tape sticking out. And then when I'm done painting, I just pull that tape right out and it'll be, just an open hole. So I'm going to go ahead and start scuffing. Basically, we're going to go across the whole surface of the door, front and back, with both types, and then I'm going to have to go through 6 doors total. So let's get started. I do want to be careful on these stiles. They're just kind of glued and nailed into the frame. Some staples here holding them all together. So I don't want to put too much pressure on them because they will probably pop off and break. If I do that, that's going to be a pain to try and replace if I even can. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of be gentle around all these and make sure that they don't break. Now that I've done the initial scrub with the green pad, I'm going to go use this brown pad. Which is kind of like a finishing pad. It's a little bit finer grit. Just go over it one more time before I hit it with the tack cloth and the just a quick clean with like a damp rag. Just get any of this dust and debris off of here. What's going to do is basically knock down the stuff around here. Nothing stuff to be sunny. So now you're really so now you're going to be stuff and finish. Okay, we're going And this is the little lip that the glass sits on, and then in these channels here there's a piece of like rubber that goes all around the window, all 4 sides, to kind of hold it into that section. So the glass pane floats freely, the rubber just kind of squeezes in there. They weren't glazed in, there were no pins or anything. It's actually pretty easy to get these out. Obviously different doors are going to vary, but I've removed them, marked all the glass, saved all the rubber so I can reuse it, put it all back together. One other tip is because obviously you're painting the doors, I've got 6 doors. What I did is in the holes here, when I took the hinge out, I just used a Sharpie, numbered the door, taped over it. So when I pull the tape out, I know where this door goes, back on the cabinets, back in the kitchen. I did the same thing for the hardware, marked all the hardware, kept it all together. I also marked top and bottom just in case the hinges were a little bit different. So like if this is door 3, I wrote door 3 in the bottom of the hole here. On the hinges I wrote door 3 on the tape, kept all the screws, and then I did door 3 top, door 3 bottom, depending where they're going to go. At least that way I make sure when I put everything back together, all the stuff that came off the door goes back on the door it came from. Just makes it a little bit easier in the end, and it'll save me some trouble, I'm sure. So I scuffed this guy up pretty good. You don't know if it shows up on the camera, but there's no more sheen to it. The wood finish itself is pretty smooth. It was already. Some people tell you because there's sort of a grain on this wood. It may come through when we paint. I'm not really too concerned about that. I am going to primer this first with about 1-2 coats of primer. We'll see how that goes. And then I'm going to come back and do a enamel finish, specific kitchen and bath cabinet and trim paint that I just picked up at the local big box store. And I'll show you guys again. I'll do that in another video, and I'll go on with that.